Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the final session of The Past Awakens. It's been a long road getting from there to here, but now we have arrived at the final. We're going to jump into our story today. We got a lot to cover. We are currently in the middle of a grueling combat scene on the highway. Y'all are being strafed by Decepticons left and right. Torment, Darkstorm, Shadowwreck, Voltwhip are all strafing the highway. You guys have been battling for your lives out here. It started out quite well, and then it has become a battle of attrition. It's become clear to the Autobots that the Flyers have the upper hand. There's not a lot you can do when you only have one Autobot that's really capable of dealing with 4 Decepticons, and right now y'all are being worn down piece by piece. When things have started to look kind of hopeless, out of nowhere, you all saw swerving and ducking and weaving through traffic. You saw what looks like a hearse just weaving around cars that had been vacating the highway, and the hearse converted and came skidding to a stop right in front of you all. Blazoned with the Autobot symbol on the chest, you can see that this is an ally, though you've never seen this person before. This is an Autobot none of y'all are familiar with. To also give you a quick update on the ground game, right now, thanks to Carmisi, you have largely managed to help humans get the heck off the highway. So humans have an exit point right now and have largely left the highway or are steering off of the highway. Combat has been raging for about maybe 2 minutes. Has been going on. The full-on combat of strafing jets that are banking left and right. There is, of course, a combat helicopter, an RAH-66 attack copter, Torment, who has been, of all the Decepticons that are fighting you guys right now, is the one that has taken the most damage, thanks to Derailer, who has been sniping this guy from long range. He is, of course, pulled out and is now at 240 feet away. He pulled out of combat and is at a distance at this moment. That doesn't necessarily mean he's out of range of Derailer, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're out of range of him. We had just suffered a missile strike on the highway, so there is a new crater down around Processor who threw himself in front of Derailer and tried to block the oncoming damage, taking a good hit there, but still just minor scorch marks on the chassis, no big deal. We are going to start off. We started off on Epitaph's round, which was a 17, because Epitaph did really good rolling that initiative. You've all seen this Autobot show up out of nowhere, converted right in front of you, slid to a stop, and if I remember correctly, Kyle, it was "come with me if you want to live" kind of situation.
Pretty much, something like that.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and start off on initiative 16 then, which is Derailer.
Oh boy.
Yeah, at this particular moment, a new Autobot has appeared and has basically said, all of y'all come with me.
Well, I can shoot before I move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But you won't get your, it means you can move your maximum. It's like any other, you can move your maximum, but you won't be able to double your movement. But yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
And remind me, do you have fast conversion?
Do I have fast conversion?
Can you convert as a free action?
No, I
think I'm the only one.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's an action to convert.
Okay. I'm so tempted to fire at Torment. He's not out of range.
Right.
Ugh.
Derailer's like, but I want to see him bleed Energon.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that final shot. I don't know what it'll do, but once it's happened, then I'm booking it. I can't. Okay. Maybe I took RC's lesson a little too seriously.
Yeah, Derailer decides that she wants to finish the job, so they line up a shot. Are you gonna take a shot at Torment? Torment's currently 240 feet up.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God, this rifle has a range of 600 feet.
Mm-hmm. It's a big
one.
He's a sniper rifle.
It is. So I think I fire at a snag because he's out of range.
Okay.
And I fire at an upshift because I have I it's an upshift because I marked him.
Okay. That's right. You did. Yes.
Alertness. So that's
did. All right.
Where's my D8?
Before you roll, I'm going to spend a story point.
Why would you do that?
To give him a bonus to his evasion defense.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to do it. That's going to be a 15.
That is definitely not going to do it. Yeah. He easily just pulls back just in time as the shot goes off. You see the streak of energy disappear into the blue sky as he just moves easily out of the way.
That's fine. I also realize that if I move right now, I do believe his turn is next.
Let's see, Derailer, and the next up is... Yeah, it is Torment. He goes.
There's no opportunity of what is it again? Attack of opportunity that we determined, right?
What's that?
No,
there's no attack of opportunity. No. Yeah,
no. But what it is that I'm very safe next to processor right now, so I don't want to move because if I move, then I'm a target for Torment. So I'm actually going to stay where I am.
Okay.
Smart.
So I just like.
So you're staying where you are.
Yeah, I stick my Autobot tongue out at him and go, yeah, and stay right. But I hide behind processor's leg.
I'm just like going through my files in my brain. I'm like, have I ever seen an Autobot tongue? And I'm like, you know what? I have no doubt in my mind an animator has created an Autobot tongue. It's a Saturday morning. It's absolutely. I'm sure
Blur has stuck out his tongue.
Blur stuck out his tongue. Oh, yeah. And you know who else did? Was Wheelie.
Wheelie did too.
Wheelie did it too. But that makes sense because Wheelie's just like a little tiny Autobot that likes to annoy people. So, all right. So that's going to bring it up to Tormentor's round. Carmisi is also over there next to Processor. We got two people taking cover behind the big Ultra Magnus-sized Autobot that is functioning as essentially a giant green recycling wall of Autobot might. I think in his annoyance, Torment is going to take a shot at Processor. Because Processor basically saved the Autobots from a missile, and now Processor is saving the Autobots from being targeted.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, he's going to take a pot shot. He's going to take a shot at you, Processor. All right, here we go. All right, so he is going to make an attack roll on you, Processor. Processor, you've decided to stand your ground. So you're basically staring down the barrel of this attack copter's big cannon that he has pointed out the nose of the end of the copter itself chassis. So he is going to... Yeah, let's see. Okay, cool. So it's D4. Yeah, you basically just take a widened stance and are like, come at me, bro. He is going to... You know...
What's he got?
3 times, though? 3 times? Yeah, but he can spend Energon. He's going to spend a point of Energon.
Boo.
Get edge on this. All right. Because his long-range rifle, which is... Give me targeting. Okay, so down 3 times. Yeah, so he's going to roll...
He gets 3 hits?
No, he's taking a big downshift. So he's taking a downshift to add extra damage.
I like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't like it, but it's interesting.
He's confident in his ability to... Oh, but hold up. No, he's not going to do that because he's nullifying the... Oh, wait, no, he's going to spend a point of Energon to nullify the snag because he's shooting from long range. I'm going to... so that gets rid of that.
Yep.
So instead, he's just going to shoot. Okay, then he's just going to shoot as normal. There's too many deficiencies to try to shoot through a big Autobot like that. And if he's going to have any chance of hitting, he's got to play this smart. So shooting against your toughness, does an 18 hit?
Yeah.
You take a point of sharp damage.
All right.
You see Derailer looking up. You and Carmisi both looking up. You can see Processor take a shot as that bolt the copter, like you actually see from the force of the gun at the end of the copter, just Torment kind of banks back a little bit and bam, you see sparks fly. You kind of jolt a little bit, Processor, as you feel the impact of the sharp damage.
Well, I'll recycle that piece later.
That's going to be his action on 14, 13, 12, 11. 12 is epitaph. No, that's 17. 12. So we're on sleeper because 10 is next. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's Darkstorm is next.
Oh, I mean, we could have skipped them. That's not a big deal.
11. So Darkstorm. Actually, you know what Darkstorm's going to do? Darkstorm is going to use. Okay, you all see this. Darkstorm is the F-16. The F-16, which just strafed, banks up to the right and uses this full movement. In Derailer, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what Darkstorm is doing. He is banking all the way around. You can see the jet trail and hear the roar of his engine. He is getting behind you, where you are taking cover on Processor. Next round, he's putting himself in position where he can strafe Processor from behind. That's going to be Darkstorm's turn. Okay, so now it's Sleeper.
I just quickly calm to Epitaph, but for everyone to hear, which way?
We need to lay down some cover first.
I will convert back into alt mode.
All right.
To get my full speed and maneuverability.
You convert to alt mode. Wheels down. What are you doing, Sleeper?
If I still have any calm time, I go, what kind of cover?
Throw up a smoke screen, spin your tires if you can.
I will. There's no special power to do this. So what I'd like to do is, start driving in circles at my full speed.
Donuts.
And can we do a narrative point to put up something that would make it hard for them to hit us and shoot us?
Yes, I think. I'm just going to double check the story point spends, but I'm pretty sure that would be because that's going to have a combat effectiveness of. I think it's going to give them. I think the way I would rule that is it's going to give them snags on trying to hit y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I'm going to. Yes. So what I'll do is if you want to spend a story point, yes, you can do. So as a quick reminder, story points can be used to alter the narrative a little bit or make something true. You can kind of give yourself, if it's not too powerful with GM's discretion, you can kind of do really cool narrative things like, oh, look, I remembered the key. Or, I'm going to basically drive donuts to try to give an environmental setback. But yes, if you want to do that, it's more of a feat than initially thought because Sleeper, as you begin to drive and circle around everybody, you are actually, if y'all remember, y'all were actually near the middle of the highway where there is a concrete barrier that is heavily damaged. So as you're driving in circles, every time you lap around their right flank, you're going halfway up onto the wall and then back down again and spinning out and then circling again. Yes, I will say at the end of your turn, moving twice your movement, you could do that. But wait real quick though? Do you have convert as a fast action? Can you do it as a free action?
No. However, I have a speed of 10, which gives me 7 free actions to push myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I can take my movement and I can't push myself with infinite speed, but it lets me up to doubling it as a push myself.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll totally bank that then. So in which case you basically spend that story point and you guys all watch as Sleeper just goes, just starts speeding around all of you. You hear the squealing of tires as this white plume of smoke begins to come up and just swallow the entire area that you guys are around as Sleeper just goes. That's going to be your action. Nicely done. So that was on a 10. So 9 is actually Carmisi.
Helps when I'm not muted. Okay, so I started to look this up and then I got distracted looking up something else you were saying. But I believe, if memory serves, that I can use an Energon point to heal an ally.
I don't know if you can heal an ally. I think
is it only for myself then?
So using Energon, you can gain an upshift on a skill test. You can ignore a snag. You can function normally for D2 rounds after you've hit 0. As a standard action, you can regenerate Energon in another character that's within reach. Or you can activate a particularly powerful ability. So you can't heal somebody else.
But I can give them, I can help them regenerate their own energon.
You can donate one of your energon to them, basically.
I want to do that. I want to give my last energon to processor.
Okay. So that's literally just reaching out and grabbing like processor. I mean, for processor, it's like grabbing his leg because you're like right next to him. Processor is huge. So you just kind of
too much shorter. We're like, 10 feet of difference.
Your head comes up just past processor's waist. So like you're about like torso level almost. So yeah, you just kind of grab processor and immediately like, energon begins to flow. There's a glow between each finger. And processor, you gain 1 point of energon.
Yes.
Carmisi gives you their last energon point.
I had a feeling you're gonna need that, and
need it.
I'm about to go do something ridiculously stupid. So good luck. And for reaction, I'm going to go for, hold on. My quick change is from alt to bot, but I want to go from bot to alt, and that is just a thing that I can do.
Okay.
Hold on. Roll out free action for alt mode. Okay.
Doesn't count against the number of actions you take.
Wait, hold on. Not to be a spoiler. Rollout is the general Autobot power. It's when we roll initiative. It's when at the beginning of combat.
Good to know. Okay. Then that would normally be an action to
convert. Yes, it's normally an action.
Okay. Well, changes my plan a little bit.
Can it be move or action? Can you use up your move to convert?
Yes, you can use up your move to convert. Yes.
And then you can just push yourself too.
Just like you can move, just like you could use your attack action to convert. It's just an action.
Fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then yes. That's pretty much what I want to do. Hold on. I have two. What am I? So foot soldier, 2 free actions, which that's nothing I'm doing right now. Okay, yeah. And then I want to start squealing my tires, but not dramatically. I'm not trying to create any dust. I just want to sound cool.
Okay.
That's it. And then I can't quite move yet because I believe that is the end of what I'm capable of doing.
I think you can push yourself too, like I am. If you.
What's your speed, Carmisi?
My speed is a total of the upper number is 6.
So -3.
So normally it would be 16, but I'm just giving you my. Yeah.
So your action economy, because of the speed of 6. Looking at
this
it right
is
now.
The one thing that my brain refused to properly assimilate.
Right.
Speed of 6 in this action economy.
Can't
afford that.
I think it's basically that your first 2 speed points or speed score is like your normal 2 actions. Mm-hmm. And then 3 and above are free actions. They do cap it so that you don't have infinite, like if your free actions are like movement, you can't take infinite amounts of them. But if you have like a speed, like I have a speed 10, if they're like very minor actions, it's like I can do move action, attack, and also like hit 8 more buttons if I needed to.
Yeah, okay. And I remember reading that.
And then so each one of those free actions can be used to push yourself, which is basically just 5 more movement off of per free action.
Up to double your speed.
Up to double, yeah.
Understood. Yeah, additional exchanging free actions for additional movement is exactly what I want to do. Yeah, I want to be a moving target right now to try and take some of the pressure off of processor and derailleur so they can start moving.
To aggro. Sure.
Exactly. I'm a wee tank. I'm most of the DPS, but I'll do a little bit of tanking.
Okay. So you convert and hit the ground. So you just peel out all across the pavement and just immediately accelerating right past. You come exploding out of a cloud of smoke, missing Sleeper by just a few centimeters. And you are out on the open highway now, the only Autobot that's clearly visible at the moment. So that's going to be your action.
You got it.
It's Carmisi on a 9. 8, so 7. That's going to drop us down to Shadow Wreck. who is going to spot Carmisi making a run for it. And anybody who's within range to hear Shadowrex says, well, isn't that nice? And is going to swoop down and strafe. All right, so he's going to make a roll. You've made a Decepticon very happy today.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see about that. It's true. All right, targeting. He's going to do a strafing run. He's going to do a strafing run. But this is not going to be easy for him. So he's going to attempt a driving skill versus the target's toughness. So his driving skill. Okay. What is your toughness, Carmisi?
It's 19.
This is not going to be easy for him. Then.
Told you I was tough. I'm not just fabulous on the outside.
I rolled a 17 plus 4.
Aww.
So that is definitely gonna succeed. In which case,
if I'm defeated, y'all, I'm so sorry.
On a single on a success, the target's movement in the next turn is reduced to 0. And only be used can only be used on targets who are currently on the ground. So he strafes the ground in front of you.
That's so cool.
Just exploding asphalt everywhere. Just as you peel out, Carmisi, you just see all these blasters smashing into the ground in front of you. You realize you're about to drive into a storm of death.
And can you imagine what that would make me look like? A mess. I don't want to drive into that.
The good news is that's your next movement. So he's doing this to you after you've completed your movement for the turn. During the mission, if Seeker began and did pass within 10 feet of the target. Oh, he can just do that as a perk. That's awesome. So then he is also going to shoot you.
You don't have to.
That doesn't sound awesome at all.
He has to pass within 10 feet of the target in order to shoot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. If he passes within 10 feet of the target, he can use his perk called Strafing Run. So he gets to just do that. So this is all, and he's using, although he is not as fast as some of the others. So he is actually going to be
a jet plane.
He's putting himself. What's that?
Is this also a jet plane alt mode?
They're all jets except for.
Oh my god!
Torment.
Getting buzzed at 10 feet with a jet is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yep.
Not worried. Totally not worried.
All right. It's going to make an attack. This is against. I roll a nat 1, so that is going to be a miss. But I rolled a 4 on the die, so it's not a critical failure. But he's going to absolutely miss. Those blasters are shooting everywhere, hitting everything but you. But Carmisi, going any further, you are going to end up slamming on your brakes to prevent driving into that storm of blasters. We'll say that's how he missed, is you reacted quickly and actually managed to slam your brakes and swerve a little bit to avoid the onslaught. So that's Shadowwreck. The last one is Voltwhip, the F-15, who has caught on to what Darkstorm is doing and breaks off and starts circling around the other direction. So looks like they're coordinating. So it looks like Darkstorm is moving to aft while Voltwhip is moving out to the front, and they're going to basically pincer you from north and south. And that's going to be their actions for the round. We are back to the top of this terrible combat round, and going first is Processor at a 23.
Yeah, well, all right. So I got extra energon, but everyone's strafed and flown off, right? Ooh, I just hit my microphone. Just strafed and flown off, right?
Shadow, it looks like Darkstorm and Voltwhip are currently out of range. Shadowwreck was a little reckless, no pun intended, and basically just strafed Carmisi. So Shadowwreck is actually in beautiful range of you and Derailer right now.
Like 10 feet up.
Well,
more like 10 feet up, yes, but also more like about 30 feet away from you guys. Literally just got done strafing, just like zoomed right past everybody.
Well, they're within my range, so they're gonna feel.
Yes, he is.
Steel.
He is within your range. You can absolutely hit this guy. He is within 60 feet.
I'm gonna blast away.
All right,
now,
this is going to be doing his invasion. What's up?
Can I use an energon to give myself an edge? Because I really want to hit.
You can't give yourself an edge, but you can give yourself an upshift on your skill, or you can give yourself a specialization for the attack if you want.
Wait, specialization is story point.
You know what, Quincy?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the information, Quincy.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for that, Quincy. Okay, so you can use the Energon to get an upshift or a full-on story point for a edge.
I'll save the story points till later, but
okay.
All right, I'm gonna at least give that. I don't want to let that Energon that Carmisi gave me go to waste. I'm gonna use it to hit. Yeah, 20.
20 hits. What's that? Not natural. It's a dirty 20.
Unnatural, but yeah. 20.
Okay, cool. Unnatural. It is October, so it makes better sense to say unnatural 20. Okay, that's gonna hit. How much damage is that?
One sharp.
One sharp, and that's against Shadow Wreck.
Is Shadow Wreck a wreck yet?
No, that's the first time Shadow Wreck's been hit.
Oh man.
But you can hear Shadow Wreck react as sparks explode off the side of his chassis as he's shot with a shotgun by Processor as he flies by. You can see just like for a brief second a beautiful glittering of stars all across the side of the F-18's chassis as you hear, as he flies right past you guys. And so that's going to be Processor. You still have your movement.
And did you say there was another one close by too?
Well, there's Epitaph who's telling everybody it's time to get out of here.
Oh, right.
And the smoke screen is up. So there's not another one nearby. Currently, Torment is at long range and is trying to snipe from long range. And then you have the F-16 Darkstorm and the F-15 Voltwhip who are about to pincer attack you guys on the next round. They are going to be at a snag, though, because they can't get a lock on you guys thanks to the big smoke screen that Sleepers caused.
Then I'll convert.
Okay. Huge recycling truck. The back end opens and Derailleur, you have access if you want to get inside. That's going to be Processor's turn. Next person up is Epitaph.
So I'm going to set some free action contingencies.
Okay, what do you got?
I've got the ability to set 5 contingencies if I wanted to, but I'm only going to set a contingency of if someone looks like they're going down because they got shot, I'm going to jump in the way and take the hit. I'm also going to set a contingency that if the Decepticons start coming towards us as a group, I'm going to throw a distraction grenade.
Okay. They will not see that coming, especially because they cannot literally see you pulling that thing out and throwing it because you're in a cloud of smoke right now.
Yep. And for my action, I'm going to use a irrefutable order on the one that just shot. What was his name? Shadow Wreck?
That would be Shadow Wreck, yeah, the F-18.
Yep. I'm going to use an irrefutable order on him and say, flee, which is a persuasion skill test.
Okay. That's against his willpower, I'm guessing.
It is.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
And I get... a upshift, so that's +2. A 19.
Okay, so how does this ability described? Is it just you have the
ability described is even your enemies respect your authority. As a standard action, you can make a persuasion test against a target whose level is no higher than yours. On success, you give the target a one-word order such as halt or flee. As long as the order does not put the target in immediate harm, violate one of the target's core beliefs, and can be accomplished with move action. They use their move action to follow the command as best their ability.
Okay. Yeah. Shadow Wreck says, "Oh, scrap. That's Epitaph. We've got to get out of here." And starts banking away. On his next action, he is going to use both of his actions to rabbit, basically.
Did we hear that?
He's going to fly as fast as he can in the opposite direction of combat.
And then as my move, I'm going to move over behind Processor to sandwich Derailleur between us.
All right. So you are now guarding Derailleur. So Derailleur, you have cover again.
Excellent.
Wait, I thought Derailleur got in the back.
Not yet.
No, it wasn't my turn to do that yet.
Derailleur can get into the back. 17. Then 16 is next. What are you going to do, Derailer?
So I have a question. Does the smoke screen that Sleeper is kicking up prevent me from seeing anything?
No, because it doesn't. It has not. It's not a dome.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's literally just blocking. Out. Yes, you can still see out. The jets are I'm putting the jets at a snag because when you're strafing, it's not quite as easy.
Yeah.
However, obviously, Torment, who has up, down, left, right, can actually remain in place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's still in range. So I'm going to do some stuff with some of my free actions because I've got quite a few. I'm going to use my move action to get in the back of Processor.
Okay.
From there, I'm going to take 3 free actions to aim.
Okay.
I can upshift up to each aiming free action is an upshift. So I can upshift up to 3 if I want to. And my speed is 7. So from there, from there, I'm going.
Derailer has had enough of this crap.
I have had enough of this crap. I then am Torment is the one that I want gone. Like, especially kind of, I'm feeling a little bit heartened by Epitaph, like hearing Shadow Wreck, like, we got to get the heck out of here. I feel like the rest of them will disband if Torment goes down. So let me make sure I've got this right. So I'm at a D6 for my alertness at an upshift because I have marked him. But what I'm going to do, and then I aim, so that's like, gets me up to like a D12. That's like, I guess that's as high as I can go. Oh, D10, D12. I guess it's as high as I can go.
It's not as high as you can go. You can actually go up to multiple dice from upshifting.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you actually have the ability, if you want, I can tell you that after D12, it becomes 2D8, then 3D6. And then after 3D6, it's just auto success.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to upshift that far, and I'll tell you why. So upshift 1, upshift 2, then you said that was 2D8?
After D12 is 2D8, yes.
Okay, so then that's 3. And then, because this rifle's very fun, I can downshift 3 to do some more damage to him if I hit. And I'm going to spend a point of Energon to get rid of the snag that long range takes from me. So
okay.
Do you believe that puts me at rolling a D20, a D8, a D6, and a D4? The comments may say otherwise if I got it wrong.
It's a good thing we're only playing with this group.
Yeah.
And nobody else.
That is a total of 27.
Did you destroy my Decepticon?
And a crit.
You guys. Oh, crits?
Yeah. I got an 8 on my D8 and a 4 on my D4.
Wow. So how much damage is that total?
That would have been 3 sharp damage, or more if you let me do more damage with the crit.
Yeah, the crit, I believe, doubles up your damage total, if I remember correctly.
The crit lets you take any effect again, which includes a damage effect.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Okay, so like the 3 sharp damage that is the alternate effect of my rifle from downshifting?
Yes. Yeah. You that is what you took on the roll. You can basically just take the effect again because you succeeded on the check.
I would like to do that, please.
So 6 damage total?
Yeah.
Which breaks the record of most damage done this entire game so far.
That's outrageous.
So here's how it looks. Like with Processor converted and Epitaph coming up to grant me more cover. Like I am so at home in the back of Processor because that's how I get around. So I'm basically I'm on my stomach in the back of Processor and feeling that comfort and that safety, just like I can breathe. And I'm like, all right, Torment, my turn to torment you. And I just fire.
Yeah, you take your time and the world around you dies for a moment. You don't hear the squealing of tires or the roaring of jets. You don't hear Epitaph screaming, flee. You don't hear the pounding of helicopter rotors on the wind. You don't hear processor converting. Or even the own scraping sounds of your chassis as you drop down and bend out of the side of processor to aim straight up into the sky from a prone position. You just see your target and you remember everything RC taught you.
And my target is actually that point where the rotors meet the helicopter. Like I'm taking his blades out.
You squeeze the trigger and in the silence, there's a jolt from your rifle. And the world is still quiet as you see sparks explode on the end of Torment's, around the top of Torment's, where you see the blades, the helicopter blades. And then it all comes roaring back to you as all of a sudden Torment just wobbles left and right and starts to lose altitude. And you can hear him going, smoke explodes out the back. And he kind of, and without another word, he immediately pulls away and starts flying off as quickly as possible with smoke billowing out the back of that helicopter blade. You defeated Torment. He had 1 point left.
I figured he did. Like I figured he was way stronger than I thought. Yeah.
Torment is defeated. Significantly defeated. You all see the expert marksmanship of Derailer take down the lead Decepticon, and Torment flees. That's going to end it for Derailer's round, which is going to take us what would have been Torment's round, but Torment is running away. Run away! Run away! So that's going to take us to Darkstorm. Darkstorm is actually going to see that Shadowwreck is fleeing and that Torment is fleeing. And not being the brightest of the bunch, Shadowwreck breaks off the strafe and starts following after Torment. You just see the wings dip a little bit and then he just banks away instead of strafing at you, Derailer. And strafing at you, Epitaph. Instead, he breaks away. Plus, he was going to get a snag on the attack anyway, so he decides, maybe not. So that's going to be his action. That's going to take us down to 10. So Sleeper, it's you.
Who's left?
Right now, the only people that are left is actually it's Voltwhip, who hasn't gone yet. But Voltwhip is literally the only one left. Everyone else is running away.
I comms to everyone. Should I start driving in a straight line now, or?
Yes.
Which way?
Drive where we have to go.
Here are the coordinates. Go this way.
And whatever those coordinates directions are, I've been in circles, and then now I'm just gonna go ahead and whatever is the like tangent line that comes out of that, just smoothly, just like straight into a line that direction.
Okay. You kind of fishtail a little bit, but you get back on track and immediately start accelerating down the highway. Thankfully, because of all the madness that has happened here in the combat, there's not a lot of cars still on the highway at the moment. The ones that are up ahead have all sped off. But I'll give the Autobots, I'll give you all this. At the beginning of combat, you remember that huge column of fire and smoke? That was, in fact, a downed U.S. Air Force fighter jet.
Ouch.
Right.
That was sent to intercept bogeys that were just flying around Washington State when they shouldn't have been. Y'all should Sleeper, you can see that wreckage out in the field as you're driving away. But that's not the giveaway. The giveaway is the parachuting pilot who you've seen has just touched down about 800 feet away from the crash and has just touched down in a field, giving it away that was a human fighter jet that got shot down. And being I would say you and Carmisi are probably the ones that know the most about human culture, with a quick, maybe Derailer as well. But Sleeper, this place is going to become human central in the next hour. This is going to become a hotbed. If a fighter jet went down, the entire defense department is going to want to know what the heck happened. So I'll give you that much without having to roll any lore checks as you're driving away. So that's going to be Sleeper's turn. That's going to bring us down to Carmisi. Carmisi, you come to a dead stop. Just as, and keep in mind, to give you an idea of how fast combat is happening, the strafing just happened that caused you to stop, which means as you've come to a stop, you've heard Processor's shotgun go off behind you and the sparks explode off the side. He's banking up, and then Epitaph screaming, flee. And he goes, just keeps going. And at this point, you can still see Voltwhip is bearing down on you guys, but has not reached you yet. And then everything else has happened. The shot from Derailer and Sleeper speeding past you to the coordinates you all just received from Epitaph.
Voltwhip bearing down on us. Distance from us, give or take?
Currently is about, he's about 60 feet away.
Okay. This is something I've not really had to consider. But I do believe that Sleeper might have done something akin to this. But if I wanted to jump and grapple, convert and then jump, grapple, and try to take them down. Because I also have a free action, manifest melee weapon, free action once per combat to pull my weapon. Is that for a hard point though? Probably not. Not pulling it from anywhere.
Let me see if you could realistically make that jump.
Okay, and I just think the thing that I need to double check is am I looking up the grapple rolls? Am I looking up?
Well, earlier I did that jump shot. It was just a normal a normal
difficulty.
Okay.
It would take an action to make the jump. It's a difficulty 18 because you would need to high jump.
There's so many grapple rolls. Okay. Difficulty 18 coming out of what, sorry?
You would need a difficulty 18 high jump. So it'd be an athletics check.
Not likely to succeed on that.
And then once you made the athletics check, I'd probably have you roll brawn, which you are good at.
Yes.
But yeah, it would be that is a trying to jump and catch a flying jet. It's gonna be tricky. Not something out of the not something out of the realm of something you could do as a Cybertronian. That's probably a Tuesday for Cybertronians, but it's not easy.
I gotta try. I can't Carisi will never be able to live down not doing this. The options are try to out race Sleeper right in this moment, or jumping and grappling the flying angry jet. So two rational things.
You are converted right now, so you will have to use one action to convert back into bot mode.
I have quick change. I am the only one.
Never mind.
Finally.
Yeah.
I used up one of my free actions. So I think, I'm just going to go ahead and roll this athletics. At least I have a point in it, so it's not what is it? The downshift. Okay, let me get my dice.
Action next.
Oh, you mean you don't have to roll with a snag?
With a snag, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so disappointing.
Go big, right?
16 plus 1, 7.
17.
That's not enough, is it?
At least you only missed by 1.
I can't do no, and that's defense. Nope, I got nothing.
You convert and leap into the air, but I'll tell you what, Carmisi, you certainly gave him second thoughts about getting that close again, because as you leap straight up in the air, an impressive leap straight up. As he's banking down, he sees it and just dips his wings a little bit to the right to avoid the grab, but you barely miss him. Yeah, nice. Close
Should
enough,
I roll like to see how hard I hit the ground? Not that it was like a super large jump. You know, I'm probably
just
fine.
For funsies?
I mean, I love a good roll. Yeah.
Just for funsies? Go ahead.
Yeah. What do we think?
I'm not going to penalize you for it, but yeah.
Okay, I'm going to roll.
Let's see if you land with style.
Yeah.
I would make it a finesse.
Finesse? All right. Is that a real thing? Oh, dear. Oh, well.
Let's see how gracefully Carmisi is at landing.
Or do you have acrobatics? Acrobatics might also work, right?
If you have acrobatics, I'll let you use that.
I do.
Use acrobatics. That would be the thing to use.
I didn't want to roll with the snag. Okay, I'm actually pretty okay at acrobatics. Where did my D4 go?
For vain and glory.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15.
Yeah. No, you do a nice 3-point superhero landing. You come back down as he's flying past.
It's so hard on your knees, though.
I got no bones. I'm good.
876. That was Volt Whip you were jumping at.
And then with the rest of my free action, just like a bunch of like, you're nothing but scrap.
All right. On Volt Whip's action, Volt Whip is actually going to break off. That the fact that you tried to grab him and the fact that he sees all of his buddies running away. You see Volt Whip bank up to the right suddenly at the last minute and tear off towards the sky using double his movement. And you hear him saying, "Wait, I thought we were winning. Why is everyone leaving?" And he flies off after it. Torment, "Wait, guys." And the F-15 begins to vanish into the horizon as he just gains more and more altitude and flies off after. Y'all are all standing. You're now officially out of combat. Y'all are all standing on the ruin of the highway with tire smoke everywhere, rubble, 2 impact craters, a burning wreck of an F-18 Hornet about maybe 1,000 feet away, and a new Autobot who showed up out of nowhere.
We need to leave.
Who is this?
I'm Epitaph, but we need to leave.
As I'm like down the road already. Yeah, got it.
I'm in the back of processor. I'm already set to go.
You don't have to tell us twice, Undertaker. Where are we going?
I need to be told twice. Are we really listening? Like, is this for sure somebody on our side?
As I convert and start driving away. Come on.
Okay.
They've got an Autobot symbol, and also this area is going to be what I think people call a cluster soon.
Oh yeah, there's going to be so many humans. You know what? Yeah. And then I'll convert and start driving away.
Okay.
Speeding away. I got to catch up to Sleeper.
Yeah.
One by one.
I think now if like Autobots have like the equivalent of like shock, I'm in that from what I just did. But good shock.
Yes, okay.
You all tear out of there and drive as fast as you can, knowing full well that this place is about to become a hotbed of activity. It takes about 20 or so minutes after the combat has ended before, Derailer, it occurs to you just like, you guys have gone from being sort of the standby team, wanting to get involved with what's going on out there and never being allowed to. And you've had a couple of fights, but this is the first time you felt like you were fighting for your life for a hot second. Y'all took some hits on this fight, and it kind of has made it real, Derailer.
Yeah. I'm sitting in the back of processor, kind of like nursing the wound that I took. That was actually dangerously close to where I am keeping the beacon. So like I've put my rifle away. I haven't converted yet, but I'm just sitting in the back, just like my hand on that wound and like feeling the beacon like in my compartment with the energon just kind of like calming me down. Like I'm really focused on that.
Okay. 30 minutes in, you begin to see that Epitaph is leading you guys to what looks like a small, like off the road, like off the beaten path town that is just south of a truck stop. You guys pull off the main highway and start heading to a small town What should we name it, Kyle? Should we name it Tombstone?
Oh, that would be too on the nose.
Tombstone, Washington. It is a little on the nose.
As opposed to Mausoleum, Washington.
Yeah. It's just called Crypt Washington. Hold on. Oh, I know. We'll call it Callaway, Washington. So you guys, as you are driving off the road, you drive past a truck stop. You do start hearing news reports coming in on the radio about some kind of like attack that took place in the highway. News reports coming in about strange eyewitness accounts that people are saying the things that they saw. And the government is quarantining the area. No reports about wanted vehicles or anything like that, thankfully. But eventually you do come into what looks like a small township, population of about 500. And you pull into, describe your hideout, Epitaph.
So driving through the city, it comes to an off dirt road that leads to a junkyard that's got various vehicles, broken pieces, as he leads you between the piles of vehicles back to a point that goes underground to a mausoleum of Autobot history and location of a secret base where you can take time to rest and repair yourself from the parts that you can scavenge from the pieces nearby.
Okay.
That's really cool.
You all pull into the junkyard and come to a stop for the first time since escaping the battle. It's pretty quiet out here. You hear birds and grasshoppers and such.
It should be safe here.
Wow, this place is a literal dump.
Yes, the Junkions were very wise in telling how to take these pieces and reuse them.
Oh.
Processor, you are surrounded by recycled scrap.
Oh, man. This is, I'm kind of impressed, Undertaker.
The Epitaph.
All right.
So you need help trying to find a location from what I've been gathering from the communications.
Oh, yeah, Driller. Just tell them about the beacon stuff.
I climb out of Processor's back end and literally I open the compartment like Epitaph, you can see the energon kind of pulsing through the wound that I have as this compartment opens and I remove this partially damaged beacon.
Which is glowing with the full power of energon right now, thanks to Processor. Mm-hmm. It is also worth noting, though, Processor, that you have multiple wounded in your party, including yourself.
True.
Although, Carmisi, you were able to repair yourself some.
Yeah, I'm looking at my... I think I'm fine now. My repair wasn't, really good. Or did I have 2 damage? I still have 1 little circle.
You should have 1 damage, yeah.
Okay. Well, then, fine. I don't look great.
Well, why don't we, let's assess who needs some healing here.
That would be you.
Yeah,
that would be you.
Awful.
Before we make Processor have to actively heal us, do we get anything back from resting ourselves, or do we have to get someone to repair us?
You do need time. You can heal wounds. It is assumed that you were being repaired while you were resting, but you need you need a full rest to be able to do it.
You have that kind of time.
Do we?
I mean, we're at a hideout, but...
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would suggest Processor as the most damaged of us, and she pokes some pieces, pokes some holes that are in your body and stuff like that. I'd say it's the most damaged of us. You should probably take care of yourself first, because if you can't take care of you, you can't take care of us.
Fair enough. Right? What did they say? If you're going to love others, you got to learn to love yourself first.
Man?
The same thing.
Yeah. I think that was right.
Okay. Yeah.
You need some help.
Patch job.
So I'm gonna patch up myself.
Do you need some help?
Yeah.
Well, I think if we're not in combat and we right. I mean, it says I count as always having a standard repair kit on me. Mm-hmm. So, and that is just repeatable. So if we're at rest, what are the rules with that?
Yeah, like I want that to be done without having processor use all their energon.
I don't think you have to spend energon. I think it's a technology check.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's a skill check.
Yeah, energon. I think he has a different ability where he can use energon to heal, but he also just has the general ability to fix us.
All right. Well, then
you got two healers in the party at this point.
Yeah, who's the other one?
Epitaph.
Oh,
I don't really heal, but I can give advice.
Oh, good. Okay, the emotional healing.
I can encourage you.
If I assist, I can give you an edge and a 1-up shift on your skill check.
Oh, great! Yeah, that'll give me
nice.
All the way up to
okay,
D10. And I'm already specialized, so all right.
Yeah, do the thing. Make your roll.
Let's do this. And an edge. Awesome.
And an edge.
This reminds me of the battle on Gideus Prime when Superstructure actually got hurt like this. You should probably look for this part.
When he says that, Processor, you remember that battle.
You were there.
I've studied quite a few battles. I keep track of the history of our Autobot heroes. I remember the ones that have fallen the most.
What was your name again? Epitaph, you said?
Yes.
It's pretty impressive there, pal. I critted on the the D6, and for a total of 20.
So here's what I'm going to let you do. Since you crit, I'm going to let you restore that point to yourself. Well, how many? So you? Oh yeah. So you're going to restore your damage, but I'll also let you restore Derailleur.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I'm up to full health again.
Yeah.
So is Derailleur.
Yeah. So it takes like 15 minutes. Sparks flying as you're working on the repair kit, closing it up. It's not just that you're good at fixing up Autobots, Processor. You're good at making them look like they were even never damaged. You're just good at what you're doing. Yeah, exactly.
That just happened to be on my desk. It's perfect.
Yeah. I'm always distressed on page 162 when they're talking about some of the repair rules. You see one of my favorite Autobots of all time, Ratchet, and he's standing over the absolutely shattered body of Bumblebee, and it's really distressing to look at. But it's a great piece of work because Bumblebee's fine. It's Bumblebee.
Gorgeous.
But he's like,
He's like, all right, so
that's a mess. Okay.
All right, B. So we're gonna put this part here, and this part will go. Oop, nope, that doesn't go there.
What's this? There's always extra parts left over.
Sorry about that. You may have lost a little weight, but hey, you look great.
Like an IKEA.
Got more cargo space.
About 15 minutes passes. You sparks flying, and everyone kind of gets settled in. It's about at this point, Carmisi, as you're watching this happen, taking a few moments when it just kind of strikes you like, oh, Billy and Charlotte are still back there.
Oh my God.
It just occurs to you. Your eyes widen a little bit.
Hey, so I think I forgot the humans.
You had humans?
You know,
no, we had two. They were really cool.
Shout out. I was just going to shout out, where are them kids?
I'm going to be right back, and y'all.
Figured that they were with somebody.
It's only
that's on me. That's me. I got it. Yeah.
Perhaps.
But also, it's really scary out there. So,
Wait. Are you fully healed?
No, but I'm okay.
Don't go out there. Let me heal you at the very. It's too dangerous to go.
They can't stay out there though.
They're humans. They'll be fine.
No, they won't.
No one knows. You know, there's ambulances and police and military, and they're just going to be fine out there.
But they also hopefully saw the way that we were going. So maybe they're traveling this way. We might be able to meet them in the middle.
Can't we call them?
Do you not have communication?
Oh gosh, those cell phones. Hold on. And
you can use a communication rig in the corner.
Oh,
what's happening? Where do we leave them?
Sleeper, this is a really big deal. I had one responsibility and I messed it up. I would like to try and call them.
Okay. You immediately just put your finger to the side of your head as you just initiated contact, and the digits appear in your mind. You immediately use your comms to dial them up. A few moments pass, and you hear, "Hello?" from Charlotte on the other end.
Charlotte, this is Carmisi. Where are you?
Oh my God. One second. Hold on. You hear like rustling sounds, and then you hear her go, "Are you guys okay?"
Yeah. I mean, processor looks worse than normal, or maybe that's but we're fine. Where are you?
We're here, still back with all the people who you saved on the bus. They're giving lots of folks here medical attention and interviewing people. The government's everywhere, Carmisi. There's airplanes, helicopters, government vehicles, there's soldiers all over the place.
Hold on, let me just speakerphone this.
No one seems to recognize it. She continues just going on. You immediately, you all get linked into the communication. You hear her saying, no one seems to recognize us, though. None of these people look like the folks that we had run into back when we stole the first beacon. We've already been questioned a few times, and they're going to want to ask us more questions because they're starting to get some of the stories about things they saw. We're not going to tell anybody. Don't worry.
No, that's okay. We trust you. No podcasting, I guess. But are you safe there for now? Like, we can send you our coordinates. Do you know how to understand coordinates? You have the technology. Yeah.
I think
you can give them a pin.
I think she's looking around. You can hear like the genuine indecision in her voice, and she goes, I think we're okay. Billy's getting looked at by a paramedic right now. They got a nasty cut on their head when they were pulling people out of the bus.
Wait, are they okay?
Yeah, they're okay. I kind of freaked out, but they're doing okay.
Okay, if Optimus Prime asks like that, nobody was hurt, okay? I really wanted to protect you, and I feel really bad that I didn't.
No, you did great. You saved so many people, and we helped them get out of the bus. And besides, I think we would have gotten in the way. That was pretty scary. I mean, I guess I remember hearing a jet last time there was a big fight, but I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah. Processor was shot like a couple of times by those jets. That's why he looks so bad.
Is he okay?
Right now.
You hear like genuine fear in her voice.
Processor, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Oh, hey. I'm so glad you're okay. Is everyone else okay? Did everyone make it out okay?
Oh yeah,
we're fine.
Everyone's like, yeah, no, we're good.
Oh, we made a new friend.
Who's the new guy?
That
was awesome. Over. Was he a hearse? That is so metal.
Yeah. The human where you carry them when they're, defeated. That's the one.
When you defeat humans.
Then all of a sudden you hear her talking to somebody else, and you hear her say, oh, okay. Listen, they're about to interview me. I want to get caught on the phone with you. Am I ever going to see you guys again?
Yes, absolutely.
Can I call this number, I guess?
Yeah. I don't see why not.
There's a pause, and she says, actually, there's nothing showing up on my phone.
Oh, let me figure out how to send a text, and I will try to send it to you. Yeah, I could.
Okay, I'm sorry. They're calling me over, and she disconnects real quick.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. I think I was feeling really stressed there. No, this is okay.
Are they good?
They're great. Did you not hear Sleeper? It was on like loudspeaker. Yeah, you were sleeping. It's fine.
They're fine, and I think it's probably best that they stay with other humans that can take care of them for a while, because we don't know when we're going to be able. I mean, also military. We don't want to go back there right now.
Don't trust them.
We can trust them. I mean, we can trust the kids. We can
trust the kids. We can't trust the other humans.
But that's what I mean. Is it okay to leave the kids with them?
They'll be fine.
They are amongst their own kind.
They're tough as heck, too. They will be okay. And as soon as I figure out how to send a text, we'll find a way to, give them our number. I don't think I have a number. Oh,
we can get you a relay. We need to track your beacon.
Yes. Okay, that's so important.
And I also wave at processor, like, oh, when you have a chance.
Yeah, you got it. Let me
make your roll, processor. While that's happening, Derailer, the beacon goes active.
Oh.
Can I be assumed that that Epitaph is helping me each time?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Epitaph and things.
Helping,
okay.
Unless there's some reason for me to help with the tracking of the stuff, yeah.
So I got a 20 on Sleeper.
Yeah, that's going to repair you up, Sleeper.
And then for Carmisi,
just to cover our bases,
I got a.
So you're wearing. Let's see. The difficulty is a 22. Skill test equal to 5 plus the health you want to restore. Yeah,
I got a 22.
Repaired
for Carmisi.
Fabulous.
You're fine.
Everyone gets repaired by you. Basic processor, Jason. You built processor to be a tanky healer, and boy, oh boy, did you succeed on this character build in just this session. Like, never mind the rest of the campaign, just the session alone, you have been MVP. So you basically patch up the Autobot squad. As that's happening, Derailer, this is kind of not terribly surprising, because if y'all remember correctly, when the beacon got reactivated with Energon, it started pulsing, like thrumming out a signal. At first, y'all were paranoid that maybe the Decepticons are trying to contact the beacon, or or the beacon was sending out a pulse. But Derailer, as it pulses, you feel the Energon inside of it thrumming with energy. Make me, if you would please. Actually, maybe this is just going to be a. I'm
gonna point at them and say, "What does that mean?" And
as glowing Energon literally emitting from your torso.
As I use the issue command to give a +1 upshift on their skill test to determine what this is, plus my other upshift and an edge for lending assistance. So it's a 2 upshift and an edge.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
like
stay with us forever.
This is probably going to be a technology check.
Smarts check.
Because I had literally nothing in that, so.
Well, now you got something.
So
are we all rolling on this then, or?
Yes, but I would say everyone except for Carmisi is rolling at a snag.
Do we?
Me?
Oh.
I'm sorry,
Except
not Carmisi.
Derailer.
Yeah, Derailer. Sorry.
Why do I benefit?
Carmisi is like, I'm the chosen one.
Yes, obviously.
I'm also going to use the follow my lead, which means I get to get the same bonuses as the person who I'm helping. So I don't get a snag. I've got the edge and the upshifts.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
I rolled a 22 and I crit.
Nice.
Okay.
This beacon has been a part of me for the last 30 minutes. I'm intimately familiar with it now.
Nobody else seems to roll.
So what essentially happens, and what did you get, Epitaph?
I got a 17.
Okay, what does everybody else get?
That's why I was trying to figure out the bonuses thing, because I don't have technology, so I'd already have to roll at a snag.
You have a D2 now, I believe.
Well, anybody who is my allies that are using the issue command gets the +1 upshift.
Okay, great.
As long as they're doing the same thing that I just said to do, which was, what is that?
And then you got rid of a snag, or you added an edge?
No, I only could add the edge to 1.
Okay, got it.
So it's still at a snag, but you get a D2 as an upshift. So 1d4 divided by 2.
8.
Sleeper's like, yeah. What did everybody else get?
I'm not gonna roll.
Yes.
I got a 10.
What beacon?
Are you trying to get a phone plan so you can actually get a text out?
I'm looking up the local
Derailer and Epitaph both. But it's you particularly, Derailer. Your vision is just suddenly, as that pulse goes off, you are flooded with information, almost the same way processor just
I was gonna say
catatonic. Yeah. You are flooded with information. And for a split second, your mouth kind of hangs open, and you all watch in alarm as Derailer just starts glowing from her eyes and her mouth for a second as the pulse goes off. And the moment the pulse goes off, it takes you a moment, but as you come out of it, Derailer, you almost lose your balance as your entire your entire balancing, your ability to perceive around you is completely scrambled for a second. For a split second, you were standing outside the location that the beacons are leading you to. Because you crit, you have the exact coordinates and you have confirmation that this was the final beacon. It's not leading you to the next one. It's leading you to the crash site of the other ship. And Derailer, you're certain it's another arc.
I know. There's another arc.
Oh, you were glowing.
What?
It will take us to another arc. That's where this is leading us. I know exactly where it is. I'm fine. Oh. I think at this point she might not even realize she's sitting on the ground because her balance has been so off. She's sitting on the ground holding this beacon and still staring like 1,000-yard stare. But like I know exactly where it is.
Thank the Allspark.
Processor, this kind of contradicts a little bit of what you were seeing in your vision. Just to sort of bring that back, you did see a ship. You were familiar that that's where this was taking you. You saw a figure standing, a large figure standing silhouetted on a ramp going into a ship. But you were certain that the ship wasn't an arc, so you're not sure what the connection is anymore. But just to clarify, so there's no confusion.
All right. Well, I mean, data can get corrupted.
Maybe it knows multiple points of data. Like maybe what you saw and what I saw, they're not the same thing, but they're two separate things that could be found, explored, whatever.
Connected either way. But if you got if what you saw gave you coordinates, or you've got a sixth sense on where you think it is, I think we should go there.
It doesn't look familiar at all, does it?
No, so I was going to ask.
It doesn't look familiar in that you've never been there, but you know exactly how to go to get there.
Historically, does it sound like any ship that we would have known had left Cybertron?
Derailer,
I don't know that I would know.
Actually, Derailer could give a pretty detailed description of what it is she is seeing in her head.
Yeah, like I could do that, but I'm not from Cybertron, so I wouldn't.
Derailer's not. Derailer's actually one of the Autobots that's native to Earth. Yeah. So, she didn't come online. Like I believe Carmisa, you too, also came online here on Earth. So Derailer sets to work describing everything that she saw in vivid detail as quickly as she possibly can, for fear of it like slipping away like a dream after you've woken up. And as you start to listen more and more, two things start to become clear to everyone around. And that is that, Processor, you think you may have seen this individual standing on a shuttle that might have taken them to the Ark, because it sounds to you like this is not the same. It sounds like an Autobot Ark, but it doesn't sound like it left. It sounds like an earlier model from what you remember, which would fit the timeline.
Like the Ark before or after?
It got here before you guys. It arrived on Earth before the Ark with Teletran and the rest of you on it. This Ark, from the image that she is describing, this Ark sounds like one of the earlier renditions of what was going to be a long-range colonization, or possibly even like a battleship. But it was one of the early renditions of a deep space, like deep galactic exploration, even an extragalactic exploration craft that is capable of leaping not only systems and star clusters, but galaxies. It's about the same size of the Ark from what it sounds like, but it sounds much older. Epitaph, you also being Cybertronian with some of the knowledge of Cybertron and being well versed in some of the history of Cybertron, kind of are getting the same impression from Processors that this was a sort of like a pre-Ark arc. It is sort of like the previous generations of the arc that the Autobots have arrived on. This all matches up with what you have all known, because what you've learned is that this beacon and whoever crashed here before you guys arrived has been here for millions of years. Probably dating back to possibly even the early times before humans, way past before humanity had ever evolved on this planet.
And the location is fairly close.
Actually, the location is roughly 65 miles from where you are right now.
That ain't too far.
No, that's doable.
Holy cow.
And it's another reason why the beacon is pulsing right now, is because you guys
we're so close.
Yep.
Oh, it's like a little sensor. Oh, it's not so scary.
If you need anything, I think we should equip and get going.
That may have been the critical hit roll of the entire game.
Yeah.
Very good one.
Wow.
that was like a monster information dump on a critical hit. So well done on that one. Good jobs on Epitaph and Derailer.
Is there anything from your junkyard that we can take, Epitaph, like upgrade with, or like you got any armor?
I've got bits and pieces for various weapon systems and kits. If you need it, you can.
Yeah. Anything in red, like my red.
Sure, we can make that.
Cool.
Love a better gun, honestly. I could use it.
Are we expecting another fight there? I'm
always expecting a fight.
I think, yeah. I'm going to put the beacon back in my compartment because it's my friend now.
What do you think's inside?
Inside the beacon or inside the Ark?
The Ark.
More of us?
I'm suspecting it might be unaligned Cybertronians.
Yeah.
If they left before everyone else, it might have been before the wars even started.
Should we, I was thinking maybe we should contact Optimus Prime and just tell him what's going on here.
I think any communications of that location could be intercepted, and we'd be running the risk of someone else going there as well. It would be better to secure the location first.
We can just let them know we found something.
Yeah, couldn't we like talk in code or something?
I'm sure we could.
Autobot code.
Yeah, that's totally a thing. I'm good at that.
I think Optimus Prime would definitely be the right Autobot to reach for this.
I think we should just go.
I don't want to be the one to talk to Optimus Prime, Sir Optimus. It never ends up well for me.
It's not that. It's that every time we have done wider communications between us and home, we've been discovered.
Oh.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes, but also I wouldn't mind even leveling the playing field.
Getting some reinforcements?
I mean, seems like this may be it, you know?
Well,
how far away are we from the Ark that we are from?
Yeah.
You guys are about 6 hours from the Ark.
Oof.
Okay.
The one in the mountains?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so close. I don't think we should wait.
No.
I just want to drive.
Even if we called for help, it would take them so long to get here. If we'll need help, we'll call it after. I mean, I already called something earlier. No one responded, except you. So thanks.
I mean, hey, that was something.
Yeah. You know what? That's good. That was like a whole mission update.
So should we just convert and go?
I've already converted. Ready.
I've already gone. I'm just kidding.
No, how am I going to get there?
It was like, I just wrapped up the campaign. Are we still playing? What's going on?
I have not yet actually converted, so I will go back into alt mode.
Okay. Do me a favor, real quick, processor. Roll me a technology check with an edge.
17.
Okay, nicely done. All right. So, you do your thing.
Okay.
And
Oh, wait, before we go, though, I do want to get a better weapon before we leave.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we all wanted like one thing. I want an armor upgrade or just an armor.
Yeah, I think I would also like an armor.
We can do so. Usually before big missions, you can always set up the armory. In this case, I don't mind letting y'all do a quick switch out of equipment. And what we can say is Epitaph has just over the many decades has collected many pieces of equipment and technology from the battle with Decepticons.
I love it.
It's not all in pristine condition. It's a lot of it's patched up and cobbled, but
yeah. So if you have anything you want to grab, do it. But I would say do it quickly.
I just moved away from the items.
Anything to fight flying guys?
There might be some long rifles.
How about an artillery cannon?
No.
Darn.
Where's an artillery cannon when you need one?
Right.
No.
I saw one back on the military base.
Do you have a force field?
Missiles.
I don't know. You have to go dig for that.
I'll go dig. Yeah, I'm gonna hunt for a force field, and I probably find one that takes a minute to actually like activate. Like, I gotta hit it a couple times, but I'll if I can take a force field, I'll take that.
Okay. You're doing what now? You're doing.
I would like an armor upgrade in the form of a
That's
force
what I thought.
field.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. I heard you say. I was just like, wait. Okay.
I guess I will take. If you're going to get force field, maybe an energy field. Hold on. Availability, it's restricted. And I don't think I can do.
Yeah, I would say if it's restricted, you're probably not going to be able to find it at Epitaph's place. If
this is restricted.
There might be some.
Yeah.
There might be some limited armor.
We got like an armor resistor or just like increased armor.
Unfortunately, you don't have access to the Autobot armory. You're basically, it's going to be harder to get stuff that's a little more rare here.
That's all right. Yeah. Then I find what looks like one and I hit it a couple times to see if it'll activate and it doesn't. And I'm just like, this is fine.
This will work. This is fine. We're good.
I'll when we go back to our arc, I'll get it fixed there and then I will have one.
Mm-hmm. You can grab like an energy resistor. It's it just kind of protects you from very specific kind of damage, which is neat, like an energy type.
Mm-hmm. And good.
Okay. I'm just going to grab increased armor. So I'm going to take one more toughness. +1 toughness. This can be taken multiple times. Prerequisite might D4. We good.
How many can you take?
It says multiple times. So
that's what I was asking. Eric.
GM dearest, can I get ridiculous?
How many can she take? How many can they take?
They can take I'm sorry, I was reading the rules just now. What are you trying to do?
I want armor. I can increase
my
armor as long as my prerequisite of a might D4 is met. It can grant +1 toughness, and this can be repeated, according to page 133.
Are we just doing this as a standard? We're treating it as requisitions, even though we're not actually at
It's base, not really. Unfortunately, I don't think you would be able to add more armor to yourself. I think this is more of like what small weapons fire or like anything you can grab. It's a.
You're basically letting us switch out any basic weapon kind of situation.
Yeah. Right? Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do any kind of like modifications or upgrades.
But we can add like a base, maybe like standard blaster if you don't have it, kind of thing.
I will. Yeah, I was supposed to take one before, and then I just decided that I was too cool for one, so I'll pick one up now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
all right.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
No, never mind. I'm correct.
Most of the stuff I need, I'm not strong enough or mighty enough. I'm not brawny enough or mighty enough to use. So I'll just stick with what I got, and I'll just get in everybody's way.
Yeah. Okay, we know that
role
works.
I've been playing.
I stand in front of it.
For all my I could do blaster or a rifle. I'll do blaster since none of us seem to have one of those. You know what?
I have a blaster. A rifle might be.
I also have a blaster, but I took the rifle because of RC.
Oh, you have a nicer rifle, right? Mm-hmm. You have a good rifle.
I will take grenades since I took them like, I don't know, 3 missions ago, and then I never re-put them back in my inventory.
Okay, yeah. Actually, grenade might actually be one of the things that you could nab easily.
Can I take 2?
Yes, but I might say that's about as many grenades as you're going to get. So if anybody wants one, they have to take one of those two.
Like one of my two?
Yeah, there's probably only, in other words, there's probably only 2 grenades available.
Would somebody want to hold one of my frag grenades? No, it's just I don't have any space. That's cool. I'll just roll it with me. It's fine.
You're like, yeah, no, that's fine.
All right, I for sure got one.
Okay. All right. Unless there's anything else, y'all convert and roll out. It feels weird saying that. Everyone converts and goes. Y'all head out of the junkyard and start heading to the northeast, kind of off the beaten path, but definitely back into the woods. The great irony is that you almost feel like you're traveling back the direction you came, with the exception of the fact that y'all are heading towards big mountainous outcroppings of rock and forest area. Getting off the highway is easy enough because traffic is being diverted from the north. There is no traffic going anywhere near. So you guys actually kind of using the side streets and everything actually looks pretty inconspicuous. It takes you, 60 miles. So it takes you guys a couple of hours of driving. In that time, eyes to the skies, y'all don't see any obvious signs of air activity except for the occasional passenger liner a few miles up. But aside from that, everything seems pretty clear. When you finally reach what looks like the wilderness area, you once again find yourselves in the beautiful Pacific Northwestern wilderness with some beaten roads and small communities that you drive past. But eventually, Derailer, your guidance leads them to what looks like an area that has no roads at all. You reach basically the edge of the woods that lead up into a small mountainous range.
You might have to go out on foot.
Oh, yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, at this point, you guys literally come to like the end of the road. You drive upon the gravel dirt paths until you come to a part where it just says private property, but it's been long rusted over. If anybody does own this land, they haven't been out here in decades. You just see the great expanse of wilderness in front of you, and you can see in the distance the rocky outcroppings. In Derailer, the excitement inside of you is growing because those rocky outcroppings is the destination. You know for a fact this ship has crashed, much like the Ark where you are all from. This ship has crashed into rocky outcroppings that look exactly like the ones you're seeing in the distance.
And does it feel familiar to me at all from my vision, or is it different?
It doesn't feel familiar to you, no. But you do notice, not yet anyway, processor. Maybe when you see the ship itself, it'll feel familiar. But you are getting sort of like the ambient vibe of excitement coming off of Derailer.
Literally vibrating in your back end.
Yeah, and the beacon is not pulsing anymore. It is just on. It's just.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like, I think before they even stop, Derailer wheels out of the back of processor, and like being the smallest one, she's already moving into the trees. Yeah.
Okay, she charges off into the woods.
I'm going to convert and go after.
Okay. So you are in bot mode now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, the terrain is it's not very forgiving if you are in alt mode.
You are a car.
So, yeah.
Sigh and convert.
Yeah, there's some grumbling and rumbling.
Amble along.
These guys are just always in the way. You gotta walk over them and around them, and okay, this is fine.
All right. Processor, I'm guessing you're following?
Oh yeah.
Or are you staying behind?
No.
What are you up to?
Sticking together. We're not splitting the party now.
As we go, I'm gonna do a command and say keep alert. And so everybody gets an upshift on their alertness checks.
Everyone make an alertness check. Good timing there, Kyle.
I like that.
Almost like Kyle knows how to tell a story.
Almost like Kyle knows exactly when a GM's going to call for perception checks.
Alertness, which I intentionally made sure I had something so I had to stop it.
I crit again.
Nice.
Oh, dude, Derailer is the bloodhound right now.
Oddly enough, I critted as well with a 20.
Okay.
So I got a 24.
17.
Okay.
I got
9.
Yeah, I got a 6.
And way over 20.
I'm looking at the trees.
All right. Y'all march through the woods for a good hour. And you're getting a good look again at the beauty of this planet. The humans don't really, truly are incapable, unfortunately, for being such a young species. They've been around for less than a blink of an eye in the time span of this planet that has gone through multiple extinction level events. And they have no idea. They're incapable of understanding how precious this place is. As you're walking through here, particularly those of you who are familiar and remember the great, expansive, beautiful cities of Cybertron before it was just a wasteland of war and death, that place was a humming ecosystem where everything was alive and everything had a story. Everything had a purpose. Y'all were Cybertronians on Cybertron, a living planet that just every machine had a place. As you're marching through the woods on a much more subtle, oddly strange, you can't help but wonder. There's a lot of legends surrounding Cybertron and the creation of Cybertron. Many say that Cybertron was the body of Primus and that had been the god, essentially one of the two gods that helped create all of Cybertronians, and that it was this place gifted as a home for all Cybertronians. You can't help but wonder, of all the mythologies that humankind has come up with to explain their existence in the universe, there is this odd kinship you feel with this world, filled with organic beings. They themselves walk among trees and birds and insects and all of the things that they too are intimately connected with. They're just too young to realize it. But as orphans of Cybertron, y'all moving through here, it does give you all a sense of what it has been and what it means to be an Autobot fighting for your future and fighting for this world's future so that what happens to Cybertron doesn't happen to Earth. And then you emerge from the woods at last. And as a punctuation, you stepping free from this big tree line, you can see up ahead through these great tall trees, the looks like the foothills of this mountain range where these huge boulders have collected at the bottom. Moving closer, you begin to realize they're not boulders at all. This is the aft of a great alien starship crafted on Cybertron that has smashed into the mountain millions of years ago. It looks, some of the metals, of course, it's Cybertronian, so it has endured with stubbornness the aging passage of time, and life has grown up around it. Trees, plant life, everything. But you can definitely identify when you are looking at it. It looks strangely like the Ark. The Ark looks like somebody took one of the great Cybertronian ships that you all flew in and just wedged it into the side of a volcano. This very similar, looks like whoever was flying this thing found a nice mountain to crash it into. What you assume is that when this thing crashed, it probably leveled the prehistoric forest that it smashed into and caused great fires throughout the valley. But again, the passage of time, the rock has pretty much fallen over most of this thing. But the golds and the reds and the browns, the greens, you can see the metals peeking out from underneath. And even so much as to see that it looks like a cave structure that has been crafted around the bottom of it, in fact, looks like a tear into the hull of the ship, making it accessible. This place that it's been undisturbed for so long is miraculous. But you're starting to get the impression that this might be something recent in it, the fact that you're discovering it. Make a technology check, everybody, if you would, please. And tell me what you get.
Me have to fail.
Rolling with a snag.
14.
14. Okay.
22.
Okay. Processor. That makes
8.
8.
Look at us go.
No.
Okay. So processor, it starts becoming clear to you now. This ship looks like it has something of a defensive mechanism. Not quite a cloaking device, but something that would certainly help protect it if it was ever vulnerable. Because as you were all approaching, every now and then you can see the exposed areas of this ship that is jammed into this mountainside. You can see along the hull, the colors shift for a second and then glitch and shift back. Like it almost has a skin over it that's sort of like a chameleon circuit, as it were, that's just kind of like cast over the top of it and looks like it becomes part of the rock face and glitches out and goes back to normal. Which, with that high roll, I'll also give you this additional piece of information. The fact that its defensive mechanisms have failed might be why the beacon's finally activated. And as you all emerge, because you rolled expert on your perception checks, you hear, just as you're looking at this, you hear the incoming roar of a jet engine.
Oh, come on.
I swear on the Allspark. I'm so done with this.
All right.
Is the jet coming from the direction we came from, or is it coming from the opposite?
It's coming from the direction you came from.
Take cover.
Do we run inside?
Ooh, do we run inside?
Can we get inside?
I mean, so if the defense mechanisms have failed, and that activates the beacon, do I feel like that's going to have an adverse effect if we do run in there?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say what's going on inside the vessel. If y'all had scanning equipment, you might be able to find out if it's dangerous inside or not. But out here, it's difficult.
Well, I mean, the defense mechanism failed.
Well, I have one thought.
What's that?
Make it quick.
Well, out here, we can get shot from the sky for minutes and minutes again. Inside, if they do try to get us, they're going to have to be on foot too.
There's only one way to get in that we know of.
Brilliant.
There you go. Unless Durell
cutting you off as in mid-sentence, Sleeper. Processor, you hear coming through your comms. All right, Processor, I'm at the location. Are you here? This is Windblade. Come in.
Is that you, Windblade? Just flew over the top?
That's correct.
Yep, come on down.
Circling.
What's Processor? What's happening? Are you?
A few moments later, you see a red jet just circling around.
The only betrayal I did was secretly send a message to base.
I think someone called for reinforcements.
I used an old Cybertronian code that can't be traced.
That's so
Autobot
cool.
exclusive Cybertronian code.
What?
Now we got backup.
A few moments later, you see circling into the clearing, you see a red jet with a black stripe going right across it. Looks like it has twin turbines on both wings, and it converts right in front of you. And she just does a 3-point landing, just looking straight at everybody as Windblade slams down onto the ground in front of you. Windblade stands probably about as tall as Sleeper or Carmisi. She is slender with 2 jet wings coming across her back. And of course, she does have her signature blade, like crystal bladed looking sword that's strapped to the side of her. She has that sort of white face that looks like it has the red paint going down the sides, almost giving her like that sly assassin look. And of course, she has this like crown upon the top of her head that has like a golden stripe going across the top of it. She is known for being one of the most legendary and young of the Autobots right now. Windblade is a city speaker. She can actually speak and communicate to and engage with some of the great titans of old. And also has a reputation of kind of like to heck with what authority tells me I'm going to do what's right.
An Autobot after my energons.
Courageous and determined. She's not necessarily the greatest sword wielder in battle, but she has some powerful signature moves. She was born on Cybertron, and she's kind of got a bit of a reputation for being somewhat neutral. She tries to meet everyone equally, including Decepticons. She has tried to she has a reputation about herself.
Okay.
But she comes walking up and puts her hand on her hip and she goes, "Well, you did all the work and I get to show up at the very end and try to take credit," she says with a big smile on her face. "Looks like you found the ship."
I say we go in.
We get credit for that, though.
Yes, you get credit for that, Carmisi. I wouldn't steal credit from you.
Thanks.
And she glances over at you, Epitaph, and cranes her head and she goes, "Have we met?"
No, but I've heard of you.
She eyes the Autobot symbol emblazoned on your chest and she just nods and says, "All right. Well, it looks like we're all friends here. Anyway, your call for help got sent out, Processor, but I should tell you that while you can expect more friends to arrive soon, the only reason why it is that they're actually getting here in the timely manner that they are is because news has made its way around."
Oh, really?
"Yeah. What's this about a big fight happening on the freeway?" She looks at you guys all kind of questioningly.
We all sort of look off in different directions.
"Yeah, Ironhide is kind of molten right now. I would
he should probably go punish those Decepticons that kept flying at us.
Iron.
You gonna go inside or?"
She shrugs and says, "I'm fine with it if you are. Let's check this thing out. Make sure it's on our side."
Yeah.
Me.
At about that moment, as y'all are stepping towards the ship, emerging from one of the rock faces above, you see Ravage.
My goodness.
Just brazenly steps forward so that you can all see him. And he just...
How's he looking, too?
Sits down on his haunches. He looks completely repaired.
Rude.
And a few moments after Ravage appears on the crests over the top, you see joining him to his flank the great blue, yellow, purple chassis of Soundwave step right into view.
Just swear.
Immediate alarms go off in your head, Processor. Soundwave is dangerous, to say the least. But that's not the end of your problems.
Come on.
Because Soundwave says, you hear as Soundwave looks down upon all of you and says, "Beacon not needed. Foolish Autobots led us to where we needed to go."
Except we're gonna kick your butts. Doesn't matter that we led you here. You're not gonna make it inside very far.
Odds not in Autobots' favor. Megatron appears next to Soundwave.
Jesus.
Parmesis,
You
stop
see him
talking.
take a step, and a few moments later, you hear the rumblings of all kinds of activity behind. The big M stands before all of you and he gazes down, a completely neutral expression on his face. Unimpressed, no bloodthirst, just stares at you blankly. And he raises his hands before all of you. He says, "What we have here is a unique opportunity, a chance for the rest of you to choose a new path. Or you can die heroically like the fools you are, meaninglessly here in this valley, and become scrap for my repair yards. Or you can choose a new way." And he taps the Decepticon symbol on his chest. And he says, "Of course, we already know what you're going to say, don't we?"
Hey, Megatron. You know, recycling generates 7 to 10 more jobs than landfills do. So if we defeat you and recycle you, we're creating jobs. So let's go.
Yeah. Get recycled.
He raises his barrel and says, "Such heroic nonsense." And before he fires, You hear, "Not so fast, Megatron." As emerging from the path, you all see charging into view. The first thing you see is Blur, who immediately slides to a stop next to you guys, followed by Optimus, Bumblebee, Ironhide. You see them all start coming out of the woodworks one by one. You see Wheeljack, Road Rage, Springer, Rewind. You see Perceptor and Prowl. You get to see Jazz and Moonracer, Cup and Novastar. They all just start come charging out of the woods one by one. And you see arriving last, standing right next to Megatron and right next to Optimus Prime and Hot Rod, Derailer. RC runs into view and spots you, Derailer, and just gives a big smile. She's holding her rifle. And at about that point, you see a horde of Decepticons, Starscream, everyone starting to emerge up on top of the cliff one by one. And it starts to occur that you guys are kind of in the middle of the battlefield right now, literally Decepticons and Autobots on either side.
I go, I'm gonna get out the way, and then just start walking like, to the Autobot side.
You just leave frame. You're like, I'm gonna leave. Optimus Prime steps forward and says, "Only one of us is getting this arc today, and it's not going to be you, Megatron." And Megatron simply says, "Why should I even be the one that has to throw the first punch, or bloody myself with the disgusting filth of the Energon of Autobots?" And he takes a step back, and he turns to his left, and you hear him shout, "Constructicons, merge for the kill!" as he points in y'all's direction. And Windblade just goes, "Oh no."
What?
Oh no.
What?
Devastated.
You all start hearing these one by one. You all see cresting over the top of the hill, the Constructicons throwing themselves into the air and merging together. You hear the slamming sounds of Decepticon combining with Decepticon. The gears turning as the transformation cog goes into work. Arms begin to form as one huge tractor size transformer literally becomes a different body part. A torso emerges when finally a head, and before you, looming up 65 feet, you all see Devastator just looming up over. And at that moment, everything happens. Ironhide says, "Attack! Go in! Don't let him get close to the arc!" And one by one, the Autobots charge in as Devastator takes a step forward. Windblade looks at the rest of you and she goes, "Run for the arc?"
Run for the arc.
Run for the arc.
Running.
And she stays behind and draws her sword and use these jet engines erupt out of her heels as she rockets back towards the Autobot line. And you guys charge into the arc as Devastator comes stomping forward. The Autobots are outmatched. You guys know that. With Devastator on the battlefield, having a combiner engaging in a fight on the front lines, this is going to be a bad fight for the Autobots. As y'all emerge into the arc, one by one, just storming in, you can see in the corner of your optics, you think a Decepticon has swerved off and is heading in y'all's direction. But by the time you reach the arc, when you get inside, there's a pulsing energy field and you all enter into the cave, which you now realize is a ramp that has literally been fossilized and formed over. The metal is fine, but the rock face has grown into this through erosion and boulders falling over millions of years. You are in a dark metal hallway with the sounds of full-on battle happening behind you.
Processor, do you think you can get the defensive components back up and running?
I mean, I can give it a try.
Derailer, do you think you could figure out where those controls are?
Yeah, maybe. Sure.
What do you want me to do?
You? What you do best. You shoot any Decepticon that comes through that door.
Okay, I'll punch them.
Punching works even better. Sleeper, can you do a quick survey?
I guess.
Sleeper's my favorite.
All right.
Sleeper's like,
you guys,
if I have to.
Yeah.
You guys plunge deeper into the dark corridors of this long crashed vessel. Moving through here, you definitely are seeing signs of ancient Cybertronian technologies. Moving deeper into the area, you've come to a couple of places in the corridors that look like they've been completely blocked off by destruction from the impact. But eventually you do come to what looks like an open area that forms into what your immediate instinct tells you was some kind of, it might have been a control consoles or a laboratory, maybe some kind of workspace of some kind, but it's quite expansive and very large. Everyone make perception checks.
Alertness checks.
Am I going to do an alertness if I'm waiting at the front?
What's that?
Am I not going to do an alertness since I'm going to be waiting at the front to stop anybody from coming in?
No, I would say also make an alertness check for sure.
Okay, I'm just going to have like my hard point, the sword hand thing out while I'm kind of surveying.
Okay.
I forgot to ask earlier, but I'll ask now. Is this sound-based at all?
No.
Okay.
17.
17? Okay.
I got a 21.
Also 21.
Yeah, 21.
18.
18 and a crit.
Hey, look at us! Except you critted, but that's
Dang.
okay. That's cool.
Okay. All right. So what did you roll, Carmisi?
18. But
18.
no crits.
Carmisi, one Decepticon is broken away from the fight, the big melee that's happening outside. You can catch glimpses of what's going on out there, Carmisi. It is a brawl. It is blasters and everything. Devastator is dominating the front lines of the battlefield. Autobots are being thrown through the air and kicked and punched. Devastator is dominating right now, and it has given Megatron a huge advantage. You can also hear the terrifying sounds of that huge cannon on Megatron's arm going off. And as you're watching this, you see one Decepticon break off and start beelining straight for the entry. It's Barricade, and he is coming at full speed. You can see this black, sleek police car coming at you at full speed. He's probably going to be on you in about 3 rounds. And just to give you heads up, so you have, because Carmisi, being an Autobot, you would know who Barricade is. Barricade is a very dangerous Decepticon. Might be the toughest fight you guys have encountered. He is coming straight for you as he's barreling towards.
Do I have an action, or is that was?
You've got plenty of actions. He's 3 rounds away. He's having to drive through the front lines of a huge melee between Decepticons and Autobots.
Well, heck, I want to throw one of my grenades. I got a frag grenade. What's my distance though? Because I can only max this at 50 feet.
Okay, yeah, you can hurl that thing 50 feet.
Okay, 1 sharp blast damage, and then
tell you what, if you spend a story point, I'll let you cause a cave-in.
My heart would be so happy. Yes, please.
You hurl a grenade. You see Barricade coming. Carmisi, you think pretty well of yourself. Barricade is beyond you. If he gets inside this thing and gets into a fight with you, that is going to be a short fight.
Too beautiful to be defeated. You're
like, nope, today's not my day. Click, you hit the grenade and immediately you just throw it down the hallway. All of you hear the echoing explosion of a grenade in the distance, and the entire ship just goes and rumbles.
RBC report.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of reports. What was the Decepticon's name again?
Barricade.
Barricade was coming at me really fast, and with nothing but like bravery, I threw a grenade and I caused a bit of a cave-in, so nobody's coming in through that entrance anymore. Amazing. That's a great job. Yeah, totally brave. Thanks.
You are standing in total darkness right now, Carmisi. As it cuts back to you, you're just like, yep, we don't have a way out of here.
There's clouds of dust circle around you.
Okay, the rest of you who made your technology checks, you begin to realize this is some kind of stasis chamber. You can see
alertness. Sorry.
So the alertness. As you make your alertness checks, you see this is some kind of stasis chamber because you can see the great pods that are sealed and closed lining the walls. You can see small reserves, barely like covered in eons of dust and growth. You can see that there are faint glowing lights indicating that the system is actually still operating after millions of years.
I walk over to one of the near ones and brush it off to see if I can recognize anyone who's inside.
No. In fact, these things are solid encased metal. You have no idea.
I see. There's no window.
Okay. No, it's not organic, so they don't need it. But it's just a solid encasement. It looks like just a metal pod that is being fed. It looks like what it's doing is it's constantly keeping whoever's inside powered with energon.
Processor?
Process.
You think you can wake them up?
Why not?
We couldn't leave them here anyway. If they're going to destroy this, we couldn't let them die.
Could I use science to wake them up?
Yes, you could.
Can I assist?
In fact, Processor.
Clouds!
Can I lend assistance?
Yes. Processor, this would be a Cybertronian medical facility from what you could see. If this is a stasis chamber of some kind, this is kind of your area of expertise.
Well, all right.
So you get an edge.
You want to lend me a hand?
Yep. You get an edge and 2 upshift.
Then looking around like, oh, I thought I was in storage for a long time.
Somebody got you beat.
A few million years. What's a few million years?
Here we go. All the marbles. Excellent. Oddly, I did not crit, but I got a 29.
Okay. There is just enough juice in this system that you could probably revive whoever's inside. You have no idea who you're going to be letting out, though, Processor. The computer consoles look like they're heavily damaged, and the data inside is corrupt. Also, what you get to is that the energy that is coursing through this place it doesn't exactly have containment. You suspect what will happen is if you activate this thing, it is going to also cause an inevitable sort of like a low-end EMP pulse, but it's not going to be electromagnetic. It'll be an energon pulse, which could actually both restore everyone's energon in this room and possibly affect you guys, like disorient or knock y'all down.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, worth it.
All right, if y'all say it's worth it, then let's do it.
Okay,
Get
Processor.
Ready.
You look at your fellow Autobots, and you're just
before he hits the switch. I give a get ready for anything and give everybody an upshift on their. Would that be a might check to resist?
Kind of stay up. That's usually
yeah. I would probably say a might check.
Okay. So,
is this going to hit me all the way back at the entrance?
You don't know.
It might.
Big old surge.
Yeah. So give everybody an upshift on their might checks to stay up.
Okay. All right, Processor, you take a look at your team. It all comes down to this moment. Whatever this is, the Decepticons want it. Whatever it is, it's ancient Cybertronian. Whatever it is, it's going to be really good or really bad. You have no idea. All you know is outside, the Autobots are fighting a losing battle. You reach forward and begin to activate. You see Processor, this ancient Cybertronian Autobot who's been your friend and who's thrown himself in front of danger time and time again, start tapping on the controls. Processor, some of it becomes very familiar to you as you start activating one by one, seeing the old symbols from your past. Back when you first came online, you remember when your spark went live and you were first trained in how to do repairs. It all starts coming back to you, and you see the coiled energy start to build up inside some of these wires that are leading to these giant containers, these huge pods. These pods are large enough that the Processor could easily get inside of them. You see they tower up overhead. So Derailer, you're looking at like you are surrounded by giants in this place. A few moments pass, and there doesn't seem to be anything happening when you all hear this like monotone like robotic voice saying, "Energy online." Everybody starts to feel the energy levels and sparking coming out of the coiled bundles of wires leading to these huge tubes. And then it just goes, there's a pulse. Everybody gain 1 energon. If you are at max energon, you are actually taking a single point of damage. As you spark for a second, you just kind of overcharge for a moment. Something you did not know energon could cause you to do. There's this like energy playing over your body, but it's almost too much. Carmisa, you're fine, but you do gain a point of energon back.
Okay, thank you.
The facility looks like it's going into overload, and you see light start to explode from the crevice that seals these great containers. Just as something begins to emerge, light begins to bathe this place. There's another pulse. Everybody who's in the room, gain another point of energon and take another point of damage. As another one comes online.
Only if you overflow, right?
Only if you overflow. Carmisi, you are fine where you are. You're not taking any damage. You gain another point of energon. And it continues to power up. And if you remain in this room, you are once again going to take a point of damage if you were maxed out on energon.
I'm spending a point of energon?
To do what?
That's what I'm double checking. It's like, where's my energon uses?
Oh, but you can only spend 1 point at a time.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to help you. Because it's scaling up. So this time, even if you spend a point of energon, you're still going to it would be 2 energon. You can only gain 1 energon a round, but it's scaling up. So every round, you're going to take a point of damage if you're at max, even if you spend.
Is there enough space to drive out, or do we have to run out?
You can drive out. Yeah, there's enough space.
I go, I'm pretty full actually, and this is starting to hurt. So I convert into alt mode and then speed out. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, same.
Okay. What's the rest of y'all doing?
Oh, I'm leaving with them.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what processor's doing.
Yep.
I'm getting the heck out of there.
Getting the shell out of there.
All right. One by one, y'all convert and start immediately tearing out of there. And as y'all are leaving the room, you can hear those pods opening. Carmisi, you are knocked off your feet as this whole ship starts to like vibrate with energy. The next pulse literally knocks you down, and you see the cave-in you caused crumble as this pulse goes out, and it shatters the rock face, causing some of the rocks to fall. However, on the other side of that rock face, Barricade was in bot mode and gets knocked flat on his back from the pulse. Goes to the ground. And a few moments later, you see all of your friends coming out of that corridor.
Why are we running?
Bright light behind them.
There are some people waking up, but it's dangerous.
Oh, well, the rock fall is not really there. You just gotta step over a little enemy. But yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna drive through the rocks.
Yeah. I think at some point I have hopped back into processor, and I'm just gonna let him barrel through everything.
Okay, it's gonna. You guys kind of you bang and smash through some of these boulders as you're driving through. But you're driving through these rocks, escaping these pulsing energon explosions to dive right into what is essentially like the Gettysburg for Autobots and Decepticons. Y'all drive right into what is a massive melee. And you can still see Autobots getting thrown from the towering Devastator. The Combiner immediately, as y'all are driving out, turns, pivots, and says, "Death to the Autobots." And it just and starts moving towards you guys. The column of light that explodes from the tunnel you all just escaped from stops everything on the battlefield. Even Devastator stops for a moment and covers his optics as this bright explosion of light emits. And a few moments pass as everyone pauses. Even Megatron stops, like he's locked arm in arm with Optimus Prime right now. And the both of them actually give each other a moment to look to see what's happening. As battle dies down and the light begins to die down, the rest of you scanning back to see what you left, the pulse stops for a moment and the light begins to fade, and you begin to see a very familiar silhouette processor emerging from the corridor.
From my dream.
And you say the word that comes to mind the moment you see the silhouette as it all starts to click, towering up a good 22 feet in full bot mode, flanked by the units of his squad. Grimlock comes standing out into the open.
Nice.
There's this stunned silence from the battlefield as Grimlock takes surveillance of everything around him and sees Devastator. His eyes become eager and says, just in time for the fun. Dinobots, let's have at it. And this T-Rex, flames erupting from his mouth, form right in front of all of you. Sludge, Snarl, and Swoop right behind him convert as they charge out behind him. The Dinobots charge into battle. You see, charging right past you, the ground thundering as they storm forward. Devastator takes a widened stance and gets swarmed by them, swinging and punching in every direction, but gets knocked off balance. And at that moment, you all realize the battlefield has evened out. And Optimus Prime calls out and says, Autobots, attack! And one by one, the Decepticons and the Autobots, the team that brought the battlefield to an even pace, a lot of you convert and engage in the battle. A battle that has raged for millions of years. A battle that you've all been on the defensive this entire time. A battle that your squad has now swerved the tide. Reunited, the ancient Dinobots join up. And as we pull back from the battlefield of laser fighting and converting, that is where we are going to leave our heroes.
So hecking cool.
And that brings an end to this chapter of The Past Awakens.
Yay.
I get it now.
Right? That makes sense. Okay, I'm here for
it. To get there, but we got there.
The battle between Decepticons and Autobots rages on, but you have an opportunity to help also swerve the battle out of the gridlock and into the side of the Autobots by grabbing yourself a copy of the Transformers RPG by Renegade Games. On that note, I want to take a moment to thank Renegade Games so much for allowing us to do this and to throw this together, this fun short campaign that we got to do. And thank you guys so much, my players, Kyle and B. Zelda and Latia and Jason Charles Miller and Quincy. Thank you so much for characters that I have fallen very much in love with. Kyle, I'm so happy you were able to jump in with us at the end. Thank you so much. I also want to thank our producer, Katie, for being such a trooper and helping us get through this campaign. We really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff that you're supposed to do to support stuff like this. We are going to sign off. Thank you all so very much and enjoy your time fighting the good fight against the Decepticons. Until then, my friends, till all are one.